The following is a presentation of the Pro Wrestling Report. Television, radio, internet, the world.
Finally, The Rock came back and everyone was getting with it. Till he said I was talking trash, but he would never be specific. Because I wasn't talking trash, Rock. I was talking truth. You left us hanging high and dry to play a fairy with a tooth, and then you walk into this ring and tell these people that I'm lame, man? He wore lipstick and get shorty and rocked a skirt for the gameplay. This fruity pebble that you dealing with? I'm not your average jabroni. I'm like a big purple pinwheel, Rock, so go ahead and blow me.
Celebrating 12 years on the air and voted 2009 Broadcast Show of the Year. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN. We're streaming live on ESPNMilwaukee.com, also on Blog Talk Radio.
Drop it, baby, drop it, like it's hot.
Damian Nelson here along with David Octavius Hero and a jubilant cause. Because your next big thing of 2011, Justin Gabriel, is a three-time tag team champion now.
3 times. You're ecstatic, aren't you?
I am ecstatic. So much to get to. A big Raw again tonight with 2 more returns. We found out who 221-11 was, and we also got another pleasant surprise there coming into WWE. So let's go through the details here of how you can get a hold of us. The number. You're on 540 ESPN.
Whoa, wait,
414.
You're about details now all of a sudden?
414-276-ESPN, 414-276-3776, or all over the world at 1-800-990-ESPN. Again, that's 1-800-990-ESPN. Also going to be taking your tweets on Twitter. Our Twitter username is @PWR Show. So much discussion. We're still trying to catch up with all of your comments on WWE Raw tonight on the USA Network. We're also on Facebook, and tonight on Facebook, again, you can pick the wrestling themes, the themes that we're going to use during the show tonight. So hop on over to the Pro Wrestling Report Facebook page. So, without further ado, tonight, WWE Raw saw the return of The Undertaker. It wasn't Sting. It wasn't Shawn Michaels. It was The Undertaker, 221-11. Not a big surprise, especially given the fact that we saw what was clearly The Undertaker last week in that last promo.
Oh, please.
But what was surprising, you're a conspiracy theorist.
No, I'm not.
You're a conspiracy theorist.
I believe in opportunity.
Like the opportunity The Miz took when he retained the WWE Championship last night at
Great win.
the Elimination Chamber
I'm happy
pay-per-view.
for him.
We'll get to that in a minute. But tonight, The Undertaker back on WWE Raw, and before his music could even stop playing, it was time again to play the game. Triple H back in WWE, and it seems as if that is a matchup we are going to see at WrestleMania 27, Triple H versus The Undertaker. Words were never spoken while the two men were in the ring, but The Undertaker with the cutthroat visual and Triple H with the DX chop. Gentlemen, this is pretty big.
It's going to be career versus streak. Triple H wants to go home. Take care of those 3 little kids he's got with Stephanie. Maybe have 3 more or something.
Then 8 more, and he's got the softball team.
Triple H, you know what it is.
What is it?
He looks in the ring, and he sees all these kids. Yeah. You know? He's a man amongst boys right now. What else does he have left to prove?
He's a man amongst boys.
Yes.
He is the man booking the boys.
Right, but what I'm saying is that's the guys he has to work with. He has nothing left to prove.
True.
He's also accomplished everything in wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. And now he's in the movie business.
And he's made a movie. We'll see how that works out. And he's got an opportunity to have possibly one last match. And
he never got a send-off. He stopped wrestling. So this is that opportunity to, and think about it for The Undertaker. What is this? This is going to be 20, right? Or is this 19?
19. I said he's done at 20. That's next year.
Takes out Triple H this year potentially takes out HBK last year. JBL retires the year before, granted unrelated, but substantial. And we could see 20 being significant. And the Undertaker's never going to lose a match at Mania, that's for sure.
No. They'll never do that. But what's a six? I mean, 20 is just a round number. But if it was 23, then he might go 2 more.
No, I think he's done at 20. And, next year is going to be interesting because there's rumors of Edge retiring also next year. So, you think about it. Within 3 years, you're going to lose Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Taker, and Edge.
Now, Undertaker's defeated Triple H in, 17 or 18.
But he defeated Shawn Michaels before also. It doesn't make a difference.
Well, but as far as multiple times to reach 20, he'll.
What are you talking about over there?
Well, because people are going to say, well, he already wrestled Triple H once. Big deal. He wrestled Shawn Michaels once before also. Great match. And for those of you that are giving me a hard time that Shawn Michaels was not in the promo, they're not done yet. Shawn Michaels was there.
Why are you hanging on to this?
Because it's going to be brought up. I want to just...
It'll be brought up. Oh, you just said, no. Okay. You are something else.
I'm amazing. I'm tremendous.
In your own mind.
That's
you
all that
said
matters.
It wasn't The Undertaker, it was Shawn Michaels. Did you or did you not
both.
say that? No, you did not.
Frank,
wait,
didn't I say there are 2 guys in the house?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels will still be there.
I'm not going to do this week. I am not going to do this week. The Miz is still the WWE
That's great.
champion.
Congratulations, Miz.
Elimination Chamber was a great pay-per-view last night.
Besides Riley.
2 big returns, Trish Stratus and Christian back in WWE. Kelly back. A lot of goodness going on in wrestling right now. Cody Rhodes has a huge announcement coming up. I'm not going to let you get me down.
That one was new to me.
Didn't y'all watch SmackDown last week? I mean, you're sitting here claiming to be journalists. You got to, watch
I'm
the program.
I'm not a journalist. I've made that very clear from the beginning.
We're going to be taking your phone calls. Again, the number is 414-276-ESPN, 414-276-ESPN, and all over the world at 1-800-990-ESPN. Again, that's 1-800-990-ESPN.
We forgot to wish a happy birthday to Rihanna last night on the postgame show.
No, because you were pouting and you wouldn't come on the postgame show until Frank called you and reminded you of your contractual obligations to call in. And then you played Ronald Reagan and acted like you didn't hear the questioning that was being asked of you about the retaining WWE champion, The Miz.
And Rihanna looked amazing on the All-Star game yesterday. Did you see that, Frank?
I did not.
Oh, I did. Shirley Perez hooked me up with a link last night where I was able to watch it after we were done with the postgame show. Very pleased.
221-11 revealed to be The Undertaker. Lots of discussion about that money match that may have been able to happen at WrestleMania and clearly not going to be the case this year. A lot of people saying, where's Sting? This was a letdown because it wasn't Sting.
Let's not talk about Sting at all anymore. He's not going to be there. No. You want to know something? I'm going to say it right now. Match of the night for WrestleMania should be Triple H and Undertaker.
You don't even know all the matches.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, Cole Lawler could be match of the night.
Doesn't matter. Those 2 are going to
end the show?
No, they won't. You know what? They might. I would not be surprised if they end the show. But I think that those 2 are going to steal the show.
This is where I'm going to need the help of everybody that you guys already know. When have they ever ended the WrestleMania without sending the fans home happy? Has that ever happened?
Well, I'm sure it has.
Not at a Mania, I don't think. Not at a Mania. I can't think of a Mania where
someone will know. Someone will know. Because
what are you driving towards there?
Well, if everything goes and flows of the night, and we still haven't had the Triple H Undertaker match,
that's going to end the show. If it's Hunter's last match, he's going to close WrestleMania.
But will it be heels or will it be face versus
baby
face?
Baby, absolutely.
Right.
Just like last year with Shawn Michaels and Taker. And then we'll see that one guy that we saw last year in Phoenix with his hands over his head pouting, tears running out of his eyes, that Triple H is retired. And I will take a picture of him and tweet to the world.
As you do.
As I do. Hey, you know what I always say? If you can't laugh at yourself, I will do it for you.
There you go.
It's not a problem.
Remember, you're picking the themes tonight on the Pro Wrestling Report when we go to and from break. You can do so on our Facebook page. Sting, I don't think it's a dead subject. I think apparently or clearly he's not coming to WWE anytime soon, because I can't think of any other scenario where it would matter as much as it would have had he been put into a match with The Undertaker. But I, for one, enjoyed just seeing The Undertaker return. I wasn't let down by that, and I was actually encouraged by the return of Triple H, because that was sort of embedded in there. And when you really look at what WWE has done over the last few weeks, as you said, David Hero, during Raw, it's clearly WrestleMania season. We're going to talk about that and last night's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, along with your phone calls and so much more when we come back. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report, broadcasting live on 540 ESPN, featuring the host of the year, Damian Nelson, and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
540 ESPN.
Tremendous.
From Montreal to Memphis.
Yes, indeed. Parlez-vous along the way.
Justin Davidson, one of our fans on Facebook, selecting the fabulous Russo brothers as our first team here tonight on the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report. Thank you for joining us wherever you may be. We're going to be getting to your phone calls in just a minute. The number 414-276-ESPN, 276-3776, or all over the world at 1-800-990-ESPN, 1-800-990-3776. Gentlemen, before we took that time out, we were talking about WWE clearly being in WrestleMania mode. And we even spoke on last week's edition of the Pro Wrestling Report primetime television show that a week ago, 2 weeks ago now, we were wondering what they were going to put together for WrestleMania. WrestleMania taking clear shape now. We know what the WWE Championship matchup will be. We know what the World Heavyweight Championship matchup will be.
I don't know.
Well, there is some doubt there, yes, but at least we have something to work with going into it.
We know that Del Rio will be in the main event.
But ever since the Royal Rumble, I think it's important to reflect back on what WWE did. They've brought back several people. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Really?
Booker T. Big Daddy Cool Diesel. The Undertaker, Triple H, Rock, Christian, Trish Stratus. All over the course of the last 3 weeks.
Wouldn't it be great to see Trish at Mania?
It'd be absolutely tremendous to see Trish at Mania. All that over the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's substantial. And here's the funny thing about this. There are so many fans out there who looked at a similar strategy used by a different company, TNA Wrestling, and whined and moaned about it because they're bringing all these old stars back. Why can't they make new stars? Why can't they make new stars? Haven't heard that at all about these WWE returns, because people still really, really, really remember and really, really, really like these stars.
It's a different fan base.
Well, it is a different fan base, but it's the same fan base.
It's a different fan base. The TNA fans want to see the TNA originals.
No. And it wasn't the TNA fans complaining about the old people, quote unquote. It was the TNA detractors. I mean, I know you're a TNA apologist.
Yes. I apologize for everybody, even you. Did you see him last night, Frank?
Yes.
Ridiculous.
The sound even went off.
I got no shame. There is no look.
He's got no shame.
There is no shame in my game. The Miz retained the WWE Championship, which is the next point. With all those returning stars, right alongside them are the Mizes, the Alberto Del Rios, the Nexuses, the CM Punks, the Cores, the Wade Barretts, maybe the Sheamuses, the John Morrisons, maybe the Dolph Zigglers. Is WWE moving forward with what could be the perfect strategy for success and growth of their business, not just WrestleMania?
It depends if any of those guys you mentioned get the rub from any of the guys that are coming back.
You're assuming they're not.
If you bring back Booker and Diesel and Rock and H, they got to do something with these young guys to elevate them. See, like tonight.
Why?
Because it's important. Like tonight with the Core. They lost the tag belts, but they won them back. So now instead of defeating Santino and Kozlov, now they beat Miz and Cena.
Right. But you also
it looks better on paper.
You also have to remember that.
I shouldn't bring up paper in front of Kaz again, should I?
You lost me in that one.
Really? Remember your big meltdown over paper a month or two ago?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you're swearing on air?
Thanks, pal.
They don't necessarily, those wrestlers that you mentioned. Now, Triple H is going against, most likely, The Undertaker. But the Alberto Del Rios and the Miz's, and you got to throw John Cena still in there because he's technically from a newer generation. Those older fans are going to now see these guys maybe for the first time because they're coming back because of The Rock and they're coming back because of Triple H, or they're going to see, wow, that's Alberto Del Rio, or that's so and so.
Don't you think a Del Rio or a Wade Barrett would benefit from being in a program with, let's say, a Booker T or a Diesel or something with The Rock?
I would agree with that. However, I don't know if those wrestlers, The Rock and Booker T could probably go another year or so. Do they want to come back and continue to wrestle?
Well,
Booker T right
they
now.
don't have to come back for a long program, but let's just say Booker T, King Booker in a program with Del Rio.
Oh, hell!
I think Del Rio and Booker could have an entertaining little program. Sure. I think there's money in a Diesel versus Wade Barrett. I'm not saying do it for 3 or 4 months. Do it for a one-off.
But as we were watching tonight, and these matches are starting to come, put together, there's Sheamus. Poor guy.
Yeah.
But wait, didn't he lose to Mark Henry to move on to this Daniel Bryan thing? Because how else could they have done that?
You know what? It's right now. It reminds me of what they did to MVP. I remember when he was getting beat, and then all of a sudden the fans got behind him. I'm not saying the fans will get behind Sheamus, but damn.
Well, he needs a dance. He needs a dance partner here. Otherwise, he's going to end up in Money in the Bank.
You know what? I'd rather see him there. I don't want to see him go to Mania.
I think you guys are jumping the gun on this Sheamus thing. Firstly, he's a king. I can relate. Secondly, to me, tonight's loss makes sense. Well, yeah, okay, had he lost to John Morrison, is that better than losing to Mark Henry?
Absolutely it is.
Had he lost to, let's say, Ezekiel Jackson, is that
absolutely
better? Had he lost to Michael McGillicuddy, is that better than losing to?
Yes.
All right.
Mark Henry is done. There's no money left in him. Who cares?
You thought that they...
I'd rather see Great Khali beat Shane. You think I'm serious? It will make more sense.
That basically puts to rest the Triple H thing from a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's done now.
Well, for now, perhaps. We'll see. The point I was making initially when you talk about these names and talk about these returns, WWE is I think, firmly planted back on top of their game. And I don't think there's any other way they could have done it so aggressively and so expeditiously as they did over the course of the last 3 weeks with these returns. Now, David Hero, you say that they're, crushing the competition or attempting to do so. I tend to think it's more of a realization, finally, that their strategy wasn't working so well. And I don't think you should discount what The Rock said last week in that extra 20 minutes. 5.7 million people. The Rock equaled 1 million additional viewers during his segment on Raw versus what the second hour drew, which is amazing. But don't discount the fact that his promo and John Cena's promo tonight, not very PG.
No.
In either way. That's smart. That's something they also have to do.
Oratory skills is completely inappropriate.
I think WWE did the exact right thing, and I think they said this a few years ago as part of their tagline. I think the power is back. The question is, though, how long will the honeymoon last? How long will this euphoria last? How long will we want to see this nostalgia? It's rare that we see such deliberate effort being put forth to build new stars alongside the legends. And I think they're doing that deliberately this year. When you look at the main event of WrestleMania, regardless of anything else, The Miz and Alberto Del Rio will be in World Championship and WWE title matchups at WrestleMania. That's huge. And it's what the fans have been asking for years because they're sick of, at least they say at times, they're sick of Triple H, Randy. By the way, Randy Orton, I'm sorry, his relevance level is just pathetic. What has happened to the Viper? No focus on him at all anymore. The fact that people said they're sick of Orton, they're sick of Cena, they're sick of Triple H, they're sick of the same guys and the same matches over and over again, I think WWE addressed that with their recent moves.
Well, they have, and as you mentioned, they are investing a lot of, everything into WrestleMania. It's their Christmas, basically. You've got now, 40 days about?
40 nights.
and they have to. This is it. They look to marketing. They look to revenue at this point, and they have to build this thing up because after WrestleMania, then you've got a few more months before a larger pay-per-view comes up. So
let's go to the phone lines and get some conversation going with fans all over the world. We're going to first go down to Houston, Texas.
Houston.
James, you're live here on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN.
Good evening, gentlemen. How's Milwaukee treating you guys?
Pretty good.
No, it's not pretty good at all, Frank. Stop sugarcoating it. It is snowing again. Yesterday, I don't know what this crap was that fell. It was like the heaviest snow ever, and then ice and all kinds of crap. And now tonight again, it's snowing, and these people don't know how to drive in snow. Ridiculous.
Well,
it's going well.
Well, real quick to David Hero. You're a big Rihanna fan. I suggest you watch that new Kanye West All of the Lights video. Rihanna looks pretty good in that video. That's all I'm going to say.
I just can't watch Kanye West.
Nobody should have to endure Kanye West to get to Rihanna. There are a few people I hate in this
it depends
world.
on the payoff.
I hate Kanye West.
I might, it depends on the payoff. I may have to endure a little bit.
It won't be that much of a. You won't get there, pal.
You're not a fan of strong.
Real quick to the Ms. Marquis.
That's me.
I want to ask you something real quick. Do you think the Cena and Miz match reminds you of WrestleMania 22, to where everybody thought that Triple H was going to beat the new kid on the block, John Cena, and then John Cena became a made man by making Triple H submit. Do you think the same thing could happen to the Miz at WrestleMania this year?
Absolutely.
James, he was talking to me, not you, unless you're all of a sudden a Ms. Marquis. David Hero.
I am.
David Hero.
For the
Ladies
next
and gentlemen,
30 seconds.
221:11. It wasn't about The Undertaker. It was about David Hero seeing the light. It was about David Hero realizing that he wants to be. He has joined the Ms. Marquis Nation. David Hero, welcome. Welcome.
And also, real quick, with them addressing Tough Enough, what do you think is going to be the future of NXT and FCW with their developmental systems? And that was all that I had for you guys.
Thank you very much for calling, James. I'll answer your questions in order. Is this reminiscent of WrestleMania 22, where it was Triple H Cena? I don't think so. Look, I'm not going on record with a prediction on this matchup. I'm not.
Rock's got to get in there somehow.
All I said in November when The Miz won the WWE Championship was that, without a shadow of a doubt, that The Miz would go into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion.
Are you sitting down?
Yeah, I am.
The Miz will beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
Really? Choking over here.
Has anyone seen David Hero?
I'm serious.
Has anyone seen?
Watch.
Wait a minute. Could you repeat that, please?
Now?
I'm saying it right now. The Miz will beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
I might even, as we get closer, I might even throw the DWHS on it. But right now, that's how I feel. They've invested so much into this coward as a champion that
and there you go, right away.
What do you think?
Right away. They invested so much into this coward as a champion.
Absolutely.
You are a Miz Marquis. You're a member of the nation.
No, I'm not.
We are the nation.
No, listen. No, I'm just saying, if they want to do business the right way and they want to truly create more stars, John Cena's already made. He's already,
the cause is made.
He's already one of their top stars of all time. Okay? Now it's time to make The Miz. Make him, if The Miz goes into WrestleMania and loses to John Cena, then The Miz is just useless after that.
Wow,
right?
I think it's early to.
Not at all.
Predict it,
No,
it
you
could
watch.
happen. I know it could happen. I just think The Rock is going to get involved in this somehow.
I'm Frank. Just go with it. Roll with it. Why you got to be a naysayer over there? You realize you're the only non-Miz Marquis left in the room right now.
I'm not a Miz Marquis.
Tillman, ladies and gentlemen, producer Tillman behind the glass.
I will punch you in the face.
Producer Tillman behind the glass. Frank, you haven't shown him his modified contract? I've got a no-touch clause.
It's illegal right now.
I don't want to touch you. I just want to punch you.
No, that means contact. Tillman, did he or did he not say, yes, I am a Miz Marquis? Time's ticking.
Roll it back.
I will not and
did
cannot
he or did
confirm
he not?
or deny whether or not that was saying.
Answer a question. Did he or did he not say he is a Miz Marquis? Yes or no?
I was busy answering the phones.
Yes.
I could not hear him.
You're asking the wrong guy, amigo. I'm not a Miz Marquis. That's hurtful.
You said you were.
No.
I don't even care. I don't need you. I don't need you supporting the Miz. He's still the WWE. Look, I wasn't going to do this tonight. All right? I wasn't going to do this tonight.
See what happens.
I wasn't going to do this tonight.
Look what happens to him.
So then, are you on board with his possible DWHS?
Could be.
I'm not going on record with anything for this matchup. All I said.
So you'll end it at that point.
What do you mean end it? I've been a Miz Marquis for a year and a half.
Well, wouldn't you then hopefully, or at least say that he will win?
I can't answer that.
All right.
This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report at 540 ESPN, streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com.
540 ESPN.
1, 2, 3.
Well, she speaks about the world from Vegas to Carolina. She's singing finger to her, fumbling down to bleed.
Yeah, Vincent. What are you over there pouting about? Really, we give our fans the opportunity to pick music, and you call one of our fans stupid.
And this is what you get.
What's wrong
Are you
with
kidding
this?
me? What song is this?
And listen, half the crap you
Neil and
suggest
Bob?
nobody wants to listen to. Our fans who are tuned in here listening to us live on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, Dan Saint picking this, Carmen Sandiego.
Is that a stripper?
I'm sure it is somewhere.
Huh.
Carmen Electra.
Wow. Wow.
We got to turn this off now.
Yeah.
Tillman, cut it.
All right,
I'm
you know
getting
what?
dumber
You
by
guys,
the minute.
You're no fun. Neither of you are any fun. You're not fun.
I'm fun.
You're anti-fun.
Wait a minute. When you were not here 6 weeks ago, and we decided to have a little fun.
Train wreck.
No.
Yeah. You changed the 3-minute warning music that we used for the last several years
fun.
here.
That was fun. With all respect to our great fans, I'm sorry, Carmen Sandiego is not a bumper music.
Stupid. Like Cody Rhodes, it sucks.
You two are absolutely shocking at times how you forget the same stuff that you all do. Yeah, you're right.
Because I do it. It's because I do it.
But
then it's fine.
That doesn't make it right.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you, Dan Sane. Thank you to some 60 of you that have suggested themes to be used tonight. Okay, fine.
And you picked the one that's Carmen
the
Sandiego.
dumbest one out of all of them. You picked that one. Not saying that the guy that picked it's dumb, but
No, he's not dumb.
You know what? I blame you. I don't blame them because you picked that one. Right to censor?
I have nothing to do with the selection of...
Of course you don't.
Who? Stop. All right?
Mm-hmm. How's Madison, by the way? I saw you on the news out there.
Cosby's daughter?
good. You better be sleeping.
I'm not getting
I
wrapped
wasn't
up in this.
talking about your daughter. I'm talking about him being on Madison over the
I'm
weekend.
not getting wrapped up in this mess. You all wanted this, Wisconsin, so hope you're enjoying it. Let's continue talking about professional wrestling. I can't believe you got me. David Arrow, you're going to give me a heart attack. All right?
How do you figure?
All you do is you just try to rile me up. That's your goal.
I'm waiting for him to go, Elizabeth.
Oh. Why would I have to do that?
Because it'd be funny.
I don't drive a pickup.
I
don't have gray hair.
Tremendous.
I want to thank all of you listening
How
to us
about
right
Vince
now
dropping
on
a tremendous
Blog
today?
Talk Radio. Well, it was a couple of years ago, but they played it tonight. All of you listening to us on Blog.
Better late than never. There it is.
I'm offended.
The wheels of the bus go around and around.
I'm not a junk man.
We've dated half of our audience.
No, you have.
You've dated our audience?
Half
Frank?
of them.
Any of them are over 18.
Okay, King.
I want to thank everybody listening to us on Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, I know
Will
what
you
you're
let
talking
me do
about.
this plug?
Who do you want to plug?
I want to thank all of you listening to us
Way
on
off
Blog
the track
Talk.
right now.
I
man.
am what? Stop. Hashmark
As
HOTY.
host, you should be taking over the show right now, and you can't.
I've tried, but I learned that the quieter I get, the more attention I might get from the two of you. Now, granted, you all fall outside of normal psychological procedures. So I will say again, we want to thank all of you listening to us on Blog Talk Radio. Matter of fact, big milestone on Blog Talk Radio just today. Now, keep in mind, we've been on there since September. We surpassed 100,000 show listens today.
You know what? I got to do a point of information before this thing gets way out of control.
You're going to turn it back to you now, aren't you? We're talking about how great the show is and how great our Blog Talk Radio listeners are. 100,000 listens over the last couple of months.
This is important before this gets out of control.
You're Ms. Marquis.
No, when we were doing some pre-production stuff, Damien had me read off a sheet where it says I'm a Ms. Marquis. Remember like how Mankind did the I Quit thing with The Rock?
Yes.
Okay, so Tinkleberry over there decides he's going to play that cut as I'm talking about The Miz and John Cena. So I never said
and
it like
Jose
I meant
Lothario pulled a switchblade on you and tried to cut you. And that's why you had to attack him, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
So before everyone gets a little bent out of shape, I never truly meant it like that. It was for down the road from pre-production stuff. There, I feel better now. Rumors. That's how rumors start, you know.
It's not a rumor that The Miz is still the WWE champion going into WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. It's not a rumor that you were wrong. It's not a rumor that you were a naysayer.
What was I wrong about?
You were wrong because you said he would not. It wasn't your opinion. You stated as fact that he would not.
Yes. I did. Believe me, I never thought Miz would get this far. Truly did not. Not at all.
I didn't either. I thought he would lose that Royal Rumble.
Because you don't believe.
I believe. I just don't believe in the Miz.
Let's go to Louisiana on the phone lines. Let's go to Will. You are live here on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Guys, I got to tell y'all make my night with y'all's radio show. Y'all are cracking me up so bad on this end of the line. I'm laughing so freaking hard. I just don't understand how y'all even function.
Wait, we don't really. Well, what part of Louisiana are you from?
I'm sorry?
What part of Louisiana are you from?
Oh, I'm from Natchitoches, just kind of northwest Louisiana.
Tremendous.
Hashmark tremendous.
Absolutely.
Anyway, two questions. One, I have to ask y'all what y'all's thoughts were about the Cena promo. I personally loved it. It was back to the Cena that we all fell in love with, and I love that it had just a little bit of attitude error in there, just a little bit. Just give me your thoughts, please, because I loved it.
Thank you for that call. Will down in Louisiana, thank you very much for your kind comments as well. I got to say,
it's a week late.
To me, it came off as Cena trying to one-up The Rock. And he's been so distant and so away from the thugonomics stuff. He's gone PG. He's gone to, you can't see me, like The Rock said last week. You can't. I'm not sure you can go back to that. It just didn't. It was well done. It was well said. It was well executed. But it did nothing for me.
You know, yesterday was Body Slams on Ice, Tribute to Wrestling with the Admirals, and we had three Hall of Famers and, the hockey
and the host of the year.
And I won't say who said what, but we were sitting there, we were chatting a little bit about The Rock's promo with John Cena. And one of them said, wow, within 20 minutes, everything Vince did to push John Cena was taken apart by the "You Can't See Me" by The Rock.
Right. And I agree with you, Damien, here. It seemed like he tried too hard. And it came a little forced. But it was well done, but it just seemed a little forced.
All of his promos come across forced. They never seem that there's no natural flow.
It was. I thought it was good.
Oh, he had flow tonight.
No, he said blow, not flow.
But do you think it ends there? No. It's got to continue, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much for your comments. Will down in Louisiana. We're going to be taking your phone calls. You got me. Now I'm losing my voice here, David.
I did nothing wrong. Don't blame me, because I'm khaki.
276-ESPN, 276-3776, or all over the world at 1-800-990-ESPN, 1-800-990-3776.
That's my fault, too, I'm pretty sure.
3776. Yes, it is, Mr. Snitsky. We're going to take another time out. When we come back, we're going to discuss more about tonight's WWE Raw. We still have to talk about the very eventful WWE Elimination Chamber on pay-per-view last night. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com. Talk about vintage. I used to mark out for this.
Really?
Jim Cornette.
Which version of the Midnight Express did you like?
Beautiful Bobby Eaton and Sweet Stan Lane.
Not Dennis Condrey?
Before my time, Dave.
Not Randy Rose?
Before my time.
Come on.
I'm sorry, they were before my time. When I was watching on Channel 18 on Saturday morning, it was the
original was beautiful.
I know.
Bobby.
I know.
Okay.
Midnight Express, another theme selected by one of our great listeners and viewers out there. As a matter of fact, it was
Yep.
Amos Cheek.
Is that the cookie guy?
He's famous.
Thank you very much for sending that in again. We're taking those on Facebook. Your suggestions.
I don't like how that sounds, just so you know.
Taking what? Sorry, so it doesn't like what sounds?
Forget it. We're taking those on Facebook. Doesn't sound right.
We're still PG, pal.
I know we are. Parental guidance suggested.
Damian Nelson along with David Octavius Tiberius, the
Hall of Famer.
It Wasn't My Fault hero, and the Kaz, the legendary Kaz, here with you live on Monday, February the 21st, 2/21/11, for the Pro Wrestling Report. I want to welcome all of you who are listening for the first time, many of you out there, especially a lot of our new followers on Twitter. And I want to invite you to visit our website, pwrshow.com, pwrshow.com.
You know, the Kaz and I went to the World of Wheels show on Saturday.
I heard the Kaz met the Fonz.
We didn't meet the Fonz. Fonz was wearing a lavender sweater.
Couldn't get past that?
I couldn't.
I mean, neither.
It was like he was wearing a John Cena shirt. You know, it was brutal. But Kaz did wait in line and get an autograph from Billy the Exterminator, which I thought was pretty funny.
CM Punk and Randy Orton seem to be going into a little bit of a challenge with each other at WrestleMania. Like, dislike.
It does nothing for me.
Hero?
I think CM Punk is the best heel in wrestling right now. And
all of it.
All of it. And you know what? I think those two, it all depends if Randy wants to do business. If Randy wants to do business, I think both guys can really benefit from this program. But if Randy is Randy, then nothing's going to happen.
Well, they've got to add a stipulation. In my opinion, they need to add a stipulation to this somehow.
You can just say stip.
But I don't want it to be if you lose, you join Nexus.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
Right. So it's got to be. To me, it needs something. Because if it's just one-on-one, it's okay. Great.
Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole.
Love it.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow. No, this is brutal.
It's gonna be awesome.
It'll be the fun match.
Okay, listen.
Will it be a tuxedo match?
It's not going to be your
pink referee.
Listen,
No.
It is not going to be your Savage Steamboat. Okay.
No.
It's not going to be your Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, but there's going to be entertainment value in there, provided by Michael Cole.
What I'm hoping that nothing like with Bret Hart and Vince McMahon for 15 minutes last year.
Oh, that was brutal.
That's what I'm hoping that they steer away from that.
Well, I think the match itself and the participants in the match will control the expectations for the match as well. Right. When we come back, we're going to talk about last night's Elimination Chamber on pay-per-view. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Like a bull market. I miss JBL.
I don't.
He's a wrestling guy.
No, he's not.
I didn't mind the behind the mic.
JBL had one of the best characters in the last 10 years in WWE, in my opinion.
You should be thankful JBL is gone. Or your boy, the three-letter word, would be nowhere right now.
Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report.
Yes,
Damian Nelson, host of the year.
Not what you say.
Along with the Kaz and David Octavius, the Tiberius D.
Hall of Famer.
Wasn't my fault hero. We're live on Monday. Why do I keep wanting it to be Tuesday? Monday, February 21st, 2011. Want to encourage...
It's Tuesday in the UK. Australia.
Stop with the UK. Right. All right. You know, we should be... I'm not going to say anything.
Well, you started it. Might as well.
Yeah, all this bollock talk from last week. Nice work there, pal.
The marketing team is looking at some options to get me over to the UK.
Of course. Yeah, you're huge over there, aren't you?
Well,
you're a star.
Me and David Hasselhoff.
You and Knight Rider.
We're going to be taking your phone calls. The number 276-ESPN, 276-3776.
That woman just flashed Frank through the windows. I cannot believe that.
Oh, I'm getting moist.
Got a headlight.
1-800-990-ESPN. 1-800-990-3776 as well. Yeah, let's go to Ricardo down in Houston. Ricardo,
Whoa.
You're live here on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Alberto's guy?
Yo, what up, dogs?
Oh, the other guy. What's up, amigo?
Chilling. I'm just chilling in the 70-degree weather down here in Houston.
Damn you.
Rub it in. Thanks, pal.
I'm sorry. Anyways, the SmackDown, I forgot all about the Raw Elimination Chamber because the SmackDown one was that much more better to me. And
it was an excellent match.
Mas bueno.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you guys see a four-way for the world title with Christian, Del Rio, Mysterio, and Edge at WrestleMania.
Christian, Mysterio, Del Rio,
Three babies
and
on a heel?
Cody Rhodes.
Fatal four-way, maybe?
I don't see that. No.
Why are people... There's a lot of discussion about whether it's going to be a three-way or even now a four-way match for the SmackDown title at WrestleMania. Why can't it just be one-on-one?
Well, where do you put Christian and Mysterio then?
Well, Rey Mysterio's going to be busy with Cody Rhodes.
For what? Who cares about
Probably.
Cody Rhodes?
Probably.
Well,
How about giving some props to Cody for that promo last Friday night on SmackDown?
Here's why it'll be Cody versus Ray. Because there's only one guy smaller than Cody, and that's Ray. So for it to be a fair fight, that's what they got to do.
Hornswoggle.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Hornswoggle's a bit of a good match.
where do you put Christian then?
You know what? I could see Christian involved with Del Rio and Edge. I could see that.
And one more thing. Do you guys see Kevin Nash and Big Show taking on the Core at WrestleMania?
Absolutely. That would not surprise me one bit.
I'm much more intrigued by a Kevin Nash Big Show match, a one-on-one match.
Really?
We've seen that in WCW. I don't know how many times. We've seen that already.
Amigo, we've seen everything every week anyhow. It doesn't make a difference anymore.
Just saying.
It's new to somebody.
It's still new to me, damn it. Ricardo in Houston, thank you so much for calling in. Let's go to Chicago, my kind of town. Chicago is Abel. You're live.
Hey, Damien, GH, how you doing?
Oh, tremendous, amigo.
Frank says hi.
Really excited right now. Just for the record, I've been a wrestling fan since '87. I'm a father.
WrestleMania 3.
Up-and-coming wrestling fan.
Beautiful.
And as to what David Hero was saying earlier, has there ever been a WrestleMania where the fans weren't sent home happy?
No. That was Frank. I don't want to take any credit for his nuggets of information.
I just asked. I asked if there was. It's been a while.
Well, it has been a while. It was WrestleMania 2000, the four-way main event between Foley, Rock, Triple H, and Big Show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Vince betrayed The Rock and let Triple H win. Big surprise.
That was 11 years ago then.
But anyway, as to another point I wanted to make, with the big push of the new stars, if that does happen at Mania, the only way Cena's going to lose to Miz is if The Rock costs him the match, which will build so much heat, even more for those two guys.
Here's my question for you, Abel, down in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think The Miz would defeat Jerry Lawler last night? Did you, yes or no?
The mental freight,
yes or no?
Right? But you knew Jerry wasn't walking out with the belt.
So you did not think Jerry Lawler was going to win last night?
No.
Were you cheering for Kane last night?
No, I didn't. I wasn't crying for Lawler so much as I just knew it wasn't going to happen. And if they did, it was probably I was leaning forward to another, like, maybe they would let Lawler hold it for like a week, and then the Miz would win the belt back.
Someone was watching Be the Booker.
Every Friday or Saturday night.
Beautiful.
Abel
with my white scarf on. There you go.
Thanks for clarifying it was white.
Abel from Chicago, thank you so much for calling in. You can join us on the phone lines, ladies and gentlemen. The number 276-ESPN, 276-3776, or all over the world at 1-800-990-ESPN, 1-800-990-3776. WrestleMania 27. The last week or two has turned out to be another must-see event. And many of you are going to be seeing it with us from the suite, the sexy suite at the Georgia Dome, along with the PWR team, including the sexy Linda Kay.
Linda Kay?
Linda Kay.
Coyote Ugly Linda Kay?
Linda Kay.
How about that?
I'm okay.
Saturday, before the WWE Hall of Fame, though, we are going to be putting on a WrestleMania party in Atlanta. Details will be released soon at pwrshow.com. Perfect way to get your Saturday evening crack-a-lackin' in the ATL with the PWR team. Frank, you got that contract signed yet for that?
Yeah, did you get Rihanna, booked for that yet?
No, hey, manage expectations. Don't start talking about Rihanna going to be there, all right, or even hinting.
I didn't say it was that Rihanna.
People believe these things that come out of your mouth.
Oh, because it's gospel.
No,
good.
it's gossip.
Whatever.
It has passed through legal and everything is okay.
WWE's Elimination Chamber on pay-per-view last night. We talked about it a little bit earlier, that amazing matchup from the SmackDown side of things that saw Edge retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I can't say that was an easy one to call, especially given the fact that Rey Mysterio was thrown around like a rag doll all night long. I don't know how many 619s he delivered. Drew McIntyre stepping up again. A great matchup, one that going into it, I will admit, I wasn't really looking forward to seeing. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
I thought it was excellent. I was surprised. I think Ray did 600 619s. It was so many, and I thought I was leaning towards him winning, so I was kind of surprised that Edge kept that solid match throughout. I enjoyed it.
I was pleased. I thought it was great. I can't believe Abel wasn't cheering on Kane. That kind of bothers me a little bit. But, overall, I mean, Big Show looked good.
Big Show replacing Dolph Ziggler.
You know what? I was hoping it would have been Christian, but Christian didn't make an appearance, in the chamber.
After your guy, Alberto Del Rio, who beat Kofi Kingston earlier in the night in the non-title matchup.
He made him tap.
Comes out and attacks Edge after the matchup. Christian returning and making the save. Very good to see.
That's good. You know what? I think that has to set up an Edge Christian Del Rio match. Why wouldn't it? Why do you bring him back otherwise?
Edge, I didn't need your help. To Christian, Del Rio. Hey, why not? Why not?
And that's something we haven't. If they have a three-way
match,
where it's two faces going against the heel,
and then Del Rio will leave as the champion.
Now, I'm sure that has happened before, and I'm sure our fans will tell me, but I think it's been a while since that's happened.
Edge retains the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and I really thought that was the match of the night, guys. Big Show replacing Dolph Ziggler. I think it would have been better if Ziggler was in it, but it was a good match nonetheless. That on the SmackDown side of things, brand new tag team champions last night as the core. The Cause's next big thing for 2011, Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater defeating Vladimir Kozlov and Santino Marella to become the new tag team champions. A short match, but it was needed because it came after that SmackDown Chamber matchup and before The Miz goes in and retains his WWE Championship against Jerry the King Lawler.
That was a good match.
It was a very good match. Why? Because Jerry can.
Well, no, because The Miz was able to keep up with the King. I was impressed.
I never had any doubt at all that The Miz would walk out.
What? Okay, now stop.
Dude, you were sweating bullets that entire match. You were pacing back and forth.
Hot in there. There were all kinds of strangers around me. I don't perform well in front of others.
What was the most disturbing part of the whole thing? Is when The Miz beat Jerry Lawler, you walked over to the Honky Tonk Man and you guys almost embraced and gave each other a high five. You were both ecstatic that the King lost.
He's a Miz Marquis.
He just hates the King.
No, he's a Miz Marquis. We talked. You didn't hear everything we said there, Dave. All right.
I didn't want to because you guys shared a moment. Didn't want to get too close.
Frank Cosentino, the Cause. The Miz retains the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber last night. What did you think of the matchup?
I thought it was good. Lawler brought it. The fans were involved. And I did think that Lawler was going to pull this thing out and keep the title for, I think, 24 hours. But now, obviously, it sets up a Lawler-Cole match. But I thought last night it was good. It did well.
It shows you how much Vinnie Mac loves The Miz, where he won't even let the King become champ for a night.
Yeah.
You could tell who Vinnie Mac truly appreciates by who was showcased last night on pay-per-view.
John Cena wins the Raw Elimination Chamber matchup. Blah. Not a good match.
People groaned.
No.
You know what was good about that was Punk.
And Morrison.
Why? Why? Because he saw at the top of the cage?
You go to a circus to see different varieties. You
so
go
now
to a circus
we saw last night?
You go to a circus. I'm talking about the rings and the different.
What, the bearded lady?
You go to a show, a circus, to see things that you don't get to see every day. John Morrison is amazing, David Hero. You're not discounting him.
I like John Morrison. He's very super amazing, talented. But here's the thing, Hashmark. Unless you're going to beat somebody with those crazy moves, you better stop doing them because they're obviously not working for you. Yeah,
but isn't that his role?
But
at this point, that's what he's going out there to do,
you know
right?
What? He's almost doing the stuff that Mick Foley used to do. High risk, high impact moves.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, it's not going to work.
But he's won some matches with some.
He's never won the big match with it.
No, that's correct. He hasn't.
It's fine to eliminate Sheamus by doing that, fall from the top of the cage, kick to the head.
When they talk about the Royal Rumble, one of the things they talk about was his move.
But in those big match environments, when he may have a shot, and remember he had that series with The Miz, you're still somewhat surprised if John Morrison pulls out a victory, meaning there's some issues with credibility there.
There's more to the whole John Morrison why he's not pushed story, which we'll save that for a pay-per-view or something. But super talented guy. Women love him. They can make a lot of money with him. But the fact is he has not won a big match yet.
No.
And right now there's a glass ceiling for him. There's no way for him to go.
Okay, but for a while, if you remember those promos that Miz and Morrison put together, where they were dancing around and doing all that stuff, you see how Miz has been elevated. What what has
Miz
Morrison
can talk.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the mic skills that have, at least momentarily, has taken Morrison and has kept him off.
People keep saying his mic skills.
Well, it's got to be something.
It is his mic skills. Everyone says he can't talk.
Put him with somebody who can, then.
Well, who?
I don't know.
They did with K-Quick.
No. With somebody who can speak English.
Ronnie, I didn't say that. That was Damian Nelson. Boy.
No, and I didn't say anything about Ronnie. I said R-Truth, all right?
Uh-huh. You know what? First of all, it was Masters was hot at you. You know what? He is the
I don't
heat
pull
machine
any punches. I
for
don't
the
pull any.
PWR show.
Hey, you don't become host of the year by sugarcoating your opinion.
Yeah. You know what's funny is when we see...
I have a problem with R-Truth, the character.
Hey, Whitey, where's your hat?
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Maybe we can address that with him in Atlanta.
Oh.
That should be interesting.
No, he'll probably be up in...
That headlock will be a lot longer.
But just...
Because, you
I'm
know
feeling
what?
attacked.
You need to watch what you say. People listen, you know.
I know people listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be more than happy to explain when questioned on anything that I say.
Yeah. Here we are, R-Truth. Look up with Damien. Jameson time. Yeah. Blow the whole thing off. Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, I just want to say hello. I'm really busy. Here's Dave.
Yeah. Yeah, put it all on me. Why not?
John Cena's tweeting.
Of course he is.
C-Nation. I can't believe that representative of the C-Nation I found last night at Romines. Had his purple shirt on. Tooth missing.
Really? Oh, that's right. Did you tweet that picture last night?
You apparently didn't watch the hottest video on YouTube today, me reacting to The Miz winning the WWE Championship.
I lived it live. Why would I want to watch it again? It was obnoxious. Obnoxious.
And I quote, John Cena on Twitter, C-Nation, handle biz on Sunday. Check. Let Rock know I'm not a pushover. Check. Win tag titles. Check. Actually, John, you never stepped in the ring, so The Miz won the tag titles. I'm just saying. Realize how much of a self-centered, egotistical rat blank douche bag The
That's
Miz
all in 140 characters?
He carries his tweets over. It says douche. I don't know what a douche is.
I don't either.
Check.
Oh, Bauschenlamm. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're in my sights now, kid. The world will soon know if you got it and he will continue. You know, the whole purpose of Twitter is 140 or less.
Exactly.
You can't have run-on tweets.
No, absolutely. That's what happened with Uber Twitter. The whole thing got screwed up. I was crippled for a whole weekend.
We've got John in Arkansas, Tony in South Jersey, and Bowman from Boston waiting on the phone line.
Bowman.
We are going to take a time out, and we'll come back in a few moments here on the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
540 ESPN. Listen to Jason Wilde during Homer and the D-List weekdays on 540 ESPN.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money. Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, bling, bling, cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
They don't matter.
Ching, bling, bling.
Did you see that?
Let's see what?
Frank doing the dance over here?
Yeah, it was something I almost punched out a window.
Whoa, what'd I do, break a window?
Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report. We're live Monday night.
Yes.
February 21st, 2011. January was a very easy month for me. I don't think I ever got the date wrong.
No.
Now there's math involved with trying to figure out what the day is, and I don't. Ms. Hanson taught me good business math at Greenfield High School, but I just can't keep it. Damian Nelson along with the Kaz and David Octavius, the Tiberius, the
Hall of Famer.
It wasn't his fault. Hero, here with you live. Thank you so much for joining us. We're taking your phone calls. The number to reach us is 414-276-ESPN, 414-276-3776, or all over the world at 1-800-990-3776. We want to know what you thought of WWE's Elimination Chamber on pay-per-view, the return of Triple H and The Undertaker to Raw tonight. But before we get to that, Kaz, overall, last night's Elimination Chamber, passing or failing grade?
It is a pass grade. It sets up WrestleMania nicely, and I give it a pass.
David Octavius Hero.
I liked it.
Pass or fail?
It's a pass. How can it not be?
You can get much more detailed conversation about last night's Elimination Chamber on pay-per-view from the post-show. Available now at pwrshow.com. We are live after each and every WWE and TNA pay-per-view with the post-show. A lot of people looking for the stream, David and Kaz.
Don't cross them.
And we don't know when it's going to return, but it will return. That's a lot of work that goes into that stream, so we'll be bringing that to you.
Dalla.
Sometime here in the near future. Shane O'Mac, let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to John in Arkansas. You're live at the Pro Wrestling Report. John on line 1 in Arkansas. You still there, buddy?
4. Yep. Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
I must agree with David Hero on pretty much everything he says.
Wow. He's great.
I love David's musings.
Hold on. I'm sorry, what was that?
Love the musings that you put out on your Twitter.
Oh, thanks, amigo.
It's one of those things, TGD loves the Hero Twitter because it's always the wisest words in wrestling.
John, are you okay? Have you been drinking?
John gets it.
Got a relative.
He's right. John gets it.
Mm-hmm.
John understands.
Does John have a point?
Yes, John does have a point. Taker... Triple H. Don't know if I'm crazy about the match, but I think that he's right. It's got to be the last match on the card. I mean, to have that huge WrestleMania moment at the end of the show, that's what it's got to be. It's got to be those two clashing one more time.
I think at times there's a little too much focus given on match placement. I think ever since there became multiple titles in WWE, it matters so much less.
Well, I think part of the problem is the way they utilize the titles and that thing. Also, the John Morrison thing, to flip to another topic, I think...
No pun intended.
Yeah. I think the whole thing with him, aside from the mic skills, may also be some WWE management having issue with him actually being successful in spite of them.
Well, if they don't want him to win, they'll put him up, on Superstars every week and not have him on Raw, sometimes main eventing.
It's one of those things. I think that talent should force the hand sometimes of the promotion to book them stronger in some cases because,
Okay, you're going to march into your boss's office tomorrow and say, put me in charge, give me more money, all this and that. It doesn't work that way, JR was, and thank you, John, we got to move on here. JR was going on a little bit of a Twitter rant earlier today, and you might want to adjust your headset there, David, and was talking about how, what's broken is what's underneath it, was talking about how, people talking about how, it's these people need to be pushed, and they need to push, and JR said something which was, not often said. You got to show that you deserve a push, or you got to go work for it, and you got to step up and make sure you improve your game. A lot rides on what the company will do for a talent, but at the same time, the talent has to step up and be noticed by the guy. You've got to fix your hair, dude. Let me get intern Cap. Can we get a picture of that?
Listen, I will call the gun show. He'll come down here, and we have a smackdown on you. That's enough out of you.
Of course, you're going to fix it right away. Yeah, of course.
Now you look like you have a headband.
Anyways, gosh, look. All right, will you boys focus here for the last 30 minutes of the show?
I'm not talking about your hair, am I? No.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
I'm bald by choice.
All I know is John has been caller of the night, hands down. Thank you, John. He gets it.
Let's go to South Jersey, another caller. Tony, you're live here on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Hey, yo. Tony? 5.
We'll get to Tony in a minute. I'm sorry, Tillman was on the phone taking another caller. Couldn't pick that up. We'll get to Tony in a minute. Kaz.
Yes.
How great was it meeting Sergeant Slaughter and Honky Tonk Man and Coco Beware? He didn't bring Frankie.
No, he did not.
Georgie Animal Steel, mine.
It was great. Those guys were very appreciative of all the fans that were there. that line just seemed.
It was never ending.
It was never ending.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see them afterwards, they really enjoyed their time here.
Down at Romines, watch the EC chamber.
But I enjoyed it, and I had to have a minute or two with Sarge to talk to him because for an AWA fan, and those of you that are, he mainstay was here, and he was trained, I believe, by Billy Robinson and Vern Gagne and
Super Destroyer he used to be,
and he's got a lot of history here, and he had kind words to say about the Crusher. And it was,
aside from Milwaukee and Minneapolis, which of course both deeply rooted in AWA, I'm not sure, and maybe I'm missing one. If I am, feel free to point it out. I'm not sure there are any other cities that have developed and produced such great wrestlers and so many wrestling talent.
Oh yeah, Kurt Hennig
and we'll say Wisconsin and Minnesota. I said Milwaukee and Minnesota. Wisconsin and Minnesota.
St. Louis had Harley Race.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. You almost want to say Texas, obviously with world class,
the Von Erich, and of course
Erich.
Florida. You had the Grahams.
Yeah.
Out west is where it's lacking a little bit.
Well, yeah, but
we've got Winter.
No, she's in TNA.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I understand we're going to get a chance to see her.
Yeah.
In the ATL.
Absolutely. Really party all the time.
Let's go to Tony in South Jersey. We apologize, but now we've got Tony live on line 2. Tony, you're live.
Hey, guys. I appreciate you taking my call.
Thanks for calling.
I'm enjoying every Monday night after Raw. You guys were wondering earlier, you guys are talking about so much stuff, too. I want to get in, small stuff real quickly. You're all talking about. You were wondering if they ever sent the crowd home unhappy at the end of a WrestleMania, right after the show started tonight, and right when you guys went to a break, I was looking.
David, I'm sorry, David is in here still messing around with his headset and his hair. I got to send out that picture. My apologies, Tony. Keep going.
You were wondering if they ever sent the crowd home unhappy at the end of a WrestleMania, and after that first segment, you guys went to commercial. I thought I remembered one time, and I was looking it up. It was WrestleMania 2000, where they had
Yeah, it was. And we had a caller and a bunch of people on Twitter point that out to us earlier. WrestleMania 2000 and actually WrestleMania 17 as well. Both were, ended in maybe not so happy notes. And your point, Kaz, was doesn't WWE always send fans home happy at WrestleMania?
No, I was. It's been a while. That's why.
And that's Kaz's thing. He likes to always send people home happy. You just can't always please the people, Kaz. Can't do it.
I think they have.
Let's go to Mike in Portland. Mike, you're live on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Portland.
It's a great night.
Yeah.
Portland, Maine, or Portland, Oregon?
Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed.
I just want to talk about John Cena for a second.
Maine.
You guys were talking about how he did his promo and did the Thugonomics thing, and when he first came on, when he first started to get popular, that's what kind of got him noticed, and that's what made fans react to him because he was doing his freestyles and the story about Stephanie McMahon, when they were on the bus and he had freestyle about a can or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So then, when he went to Raw after he won the championship at WrestleMania 21, he stopped doing the freestyles and he became really Mr. Nice Guy and kind of corny, and he stopped doing his his freestyles, and that's when his popularity started to drop. And I think it was really not smart for WWE to do that because at the time, Eminem was really popular, and the whole white rapper thing, and it was a perfect gimmick at the perfect time. It was 2002, 2003 when he started doing that, and it's they just didn't capitalize on that, and then he stopped doing it, and his popularity dropped, and all of a sudden he does it again tonight, and I'm thinking why did they have him stop doing that? That's what made him cool in the first place. So,
cool to the male demographic, right?
Well, I mean, that's who watches wrestling. I mean,
I would agree with you there, but there is something that, and I'll just disagree with you a little bit. While he just maybe that part of it, the thugonometry or whatever they call it, kind of went away.
Thugonometry, God. Thugonometry.
His marketing,
what the hell is that?
I just made up a word. I made up my own word. His popularity from a marketing standpoint went through the roof. They're making a ton of money on him.
No. What I'm saying is, don't you think he would have been even more popular yes, he was popular, but he never reached, like, Rock status. He never reached Stone Cold status. He never got up to that level of popularity. I think if he would have stuck with the thugonomics thing and kept doing his freestyles and wearing the throwback jerseys,
you don't think that would have gotten old?
The crowd was actually on his side tonight. You know what I mean? It's like that's what made him popular. Why? That's like Austin doing 316 and then all of a sudden he becomes champion and he stops doing it.
It's because they had to go PG because they're losing too many sponsors. But the office knows. Hold on. The office knows. No, hold on. Listen to me. Right now, the office knows that for Cena to actually go one-on-one with the Great One, they've got to take the handcuffs off. They've got to let him go back and do what he used to do.
But I'm talking about 2005, 2006. They weren't totally delved into the whole PG thing back then. I mean, he stopped doing this years ago. So now, like, for him to go back to it now, it doesn't make. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't they have just kept it going? You know, I mean, do you guys? I don't know if you remember that far back, but do you know why he stopped doing it?
His appeal became much broader, as opposed to the narrow appeal that the previous character had. When you're rapping in thugonomicon, or what'd you say, Frank? Thugonometry.
Thugonometry. It's a new word.
When you're doing that, I think you're only reaching a limited audience.
Exactly.
And John Cena became much more. No, I'm not even saying a hip hop audience. I'm saying
hip hop is more popular than pro wrestling right now, and it was back then. I mean, that's a fact.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't compare those two mediums, though. I mean, that's like.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you would get a lot of crossover from that, plus the pro wrestling fans.
Cena wasn't a hip hop artist. He was rhyming. He was busting a rhyme in the ring.
Marky Mark.
Hey, come on now.
No. I mean, he wasn't a hip hop artist, but him doing his freestyles, it was witty and it was cool.
Written by somebody.
And that's why people, you know, that's how he got popular. So why would you take away what made him popular? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, no, your point is valid, but I think his appeal became much broader as John Cena. I mean, how many of those throwback jerseys can you sell? You can't because you don't own them.
I mean,
you can sell the purple shirts and the yellow shirts and the orange shirts and the pink shirts.
He could have had his T-shirts. He could have had his hats. That would have been fine. But, you know, like, they were always smart to mold their characters around what was popular at the time. Like, you know, the action hero, you know, like with Austin in the 90s. And then, you know, Eminem was like, you know, the most popular.
And Eminem is still very popular, if not more popular now than he was before. Thanks for that call, Mike, out in Portland. We got to take a time out.
$2 the first minute, 99 cents each additional minute.
Call me now. Mr. Cleo. That's what we can call you.
Mr. Cleo? I know a Cleo.
The Psychic Friends Network. Isn't that what you say on Twitter, Psychic Friends?
No, Super Friends. Super Friends.
What did I say? I said Dionne Warwick, didn't I? Miss Cleo and Dionne Warwick. They were both
punched in the face.
Wait, they weren't? Miss Cleo was different from the Psycho Friends.
Psycho Friends?
That's your network.
You know what? The Super Friends are gonna, you know,
out on Twitter. Andy Criddle. Maybe we should be doing this show in the mornings.
No.
You think we can
morning stew? No.
You don't want to do morning drive?
Absolutely not.
What about afternoon drive?
No one listens.
Everybody does.
I like where we're at right now.
15 minutes?
I like where we're at right now.
Can you fix your... You look redonkulous.
I don't care.
Clearly you don't.
I'm still a superhero.
Andy Criddle on Twitter.
Who? Just finish. You got 19 minutes here.
Our Twitter username, remember, is at PWR Show. Andy Criddle saying, I think I took thugonometry at community college.
then you better have gotten an A.
How can you not? Make stuff up.
I want to remind all of you that we do have applications available for both iTunes and for Android. Be sure to pick those up. We understand some of our Android users may have been having some problems over the last week. Those have since been resolved by the developer, and those new episodes are pushed out. And be sure to pick those up, either on iTunes in the store or in the market from Android. I'm going to get one of these Zooms, Frank.
Zoom.
It was out on Thursday.
Zoom.
Motorola Zoom, the anti-iPad.
All you want to do?
Zoom, zoom, zoom. This
boom,
is the
boom.
award-winning Pro Wrestling Report, streaming on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
So, you think you're untouchable?
Word life.
Tree. Wow. Check. Check.
Is this really
Thugonometry.
it? Is this some kind of remix?
Thugonometry.
I can see it now. The Thugonometry music video featuring the Kaz and some big booty.
That's got to be on next week's PWR show. We'll do the Kaz Thugjabra, whatever. What'd you call it?
Thugonometry.
Yeah. Yes.
Thugonometry.
That'll be your next session.
We'll get legal to work on that one.
How great would that be? Kaz in a classroom breaking it down.
Thugonometry.
Shock.
Thugjabra? Whatever.
Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN. We're streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com. We want to thank the literally hundreds of you who suggested theme songs to use tonight during the broadcast on Facebook. So make sure you follow and become a fan of the Pro Wrestling Report on Facebook. You never know what you're going to get there.
Never.
So be sure to be a part of it. Dan Saint on Twitter, 5879, Dan Saint 5879, saying, is there a Nobel Prize in thugonometry?
No, that's a Nobly Prize.
Let's go to the phone lines. Dashingly awesome Bowman would like to talk about, let me guess, The Miz and his awesomeness and the promo that Cody Rhodes owned SmackDown with last Friday night.
Oh, of course. The Miz's awesomeness makes it all the way to WrestleMania champion, like I said way in the beginning, although Dave Hero doubts it. But
he's on board now.
I
don't know if you heard the first hour, but Dave Hero, he's been assimilated. He is now a card-carrying Miz Marquee member.
No.
That needs to be seen on TV.
That's never going to happen.
I'm just saying.
I wanted to talk about Elimination Chamber a little bit. Overall, I thought the pay-per-view was really good. I thought both chambers were definitely entertaining. I think the SmackDown one was a little bit better. Definitely wasn't looking good going in, like you said, Damian. And they definitely they turned it out definitely for that. And I think the Raw one was good too. I think a lot of people poop and wanted just because who won. So I think if he didn't win, everybody would have liked it a lot better. But I kind of think, I don't know if you guys agree with this, I think that when they make the winner gets a title match, the title shot at WrestleMania in the Elimination Chamber, do you think that actually makes that person look a lot stronger than the Royal Rumble winner?
No. Well, I don't know. That's a toss-up, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the idea, but it's almost like you kind of make the Royal Rumble winner supposed to get the main event. Well, they've changed it every promo from main event to championship match at WrestleMania. That used to be the guy, and then they have this Elimination Chamber where you have the one man that beats six other men, and this very built-up match is supposed to be the most devastating match in WWE. And then he goes over and wins. It seems to me that he comes out stronger.
Yeah. I see your point. I see you. But the Elimination Chamber this year was built brilliantly around what happened from the Royal Rumble. SmackDown became for the title because you knew Del Rio was going to the SmackDown side of things for Mania. And then Raw had to determine who their number one contender was. This could have been one of the smartest, as far as logic goes, cards on Elimination Chamber in a long time. I think wrestling fans in general have come to grips with the fact that the Royal Rumble is cool, and it's also an added bonus that the winner goes to Mania, but they know that on a random episode of Raw, SmackDown, or Elimination Chamber, the February pay-per-view, that all could change, and they'll be fine with that.
Yeah, that's true. You never know. Christian might be Del Rio for that number one contendership. I don't know if David Hill would approve of that, but that could happen.
I can see it happening. Wouldn't bother me.
And I know one more thing that bothers me right now is this CM Punk and Orton feud, because have they not learned from WrestleMania 25 not to go back in the past and show a promo that makes the guy that's acting like a heel actually look like the face? For example, Randy Orton screwed over CM Punk at that Unforgiven pay-per-view 2 years ago. They keep replaying that. That just makes CM Punk look like the good guy.
I'm very confused as to why they're so committed to Randy Orton being a good guy. It doesn't seem like it's necessary.
I think I even said it on the show. I said, I don't understand why Randy Orton's a face. He's not a face. It doesn't work for him. He doesn't know how to wrestle as a face. And even in his in-ring moves, he's
who else do they have?
Heel. They have nobody. I mean, they had to try with him, man. They have nobody else. I was talking actually with somebody this earlier on Twitter that was complaining kind of about John Cena being, I think this is the 7th or straight WrestleMania and a title match. I think it was Edge's 4th straight WrestleMania and title match. And I'm like, who else do they got?
That's what it is.
Who else do they got?
Well, it's failing miserably, in my opinion.
I mean,
and Randy Orton's an amazing talent. As you said, Randy Orton has been one of the mainstays in WWE for the last several years, but Randy Orton as a good guy, I don't think is going over as well as it could. Now, I don't know how many shirts they're selling and how much money they're making off of them. Maybe it is working, but it just doesn't seem at the surface that it is a smart move.
Yeah, everybody was behind it in the beginning. I wasn't fooled. I was just like, I don't buy him as a face. Just like AJ Styles is a heel. I don't buy it.
Now, if and we'll have to make this our last question, if Randy Orton were to learn thugonometry, do you think that would help or hurt him?
I don't know. Anything that can make him relevant would help him. Right now, he's just I don't know. He's just irrelevant as could ever be. He's just there. He's there and he does an RKO. That's about the only thing that's worth watching him do now.
Bowman from Boston, thank you very much for that call. Our final caller of the evening here on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN. If you missed any portion of the show, you can always pick it up on iTunes. You can also get it on our website, pwrshow.com, and on Blog Talk Radio. You know, we talked about 100,000 listeners over the last few months on Blog Talk Radio. Another milestone reached on YouTube. We've surpassed 5 million.
Amazing. That is
5 million total video views since we launched on YouTube just about 4 years ago. So it's it's an honor and a privilege to have the largest audience on YouTube of any professional wrestling news show out there. And we appreciate all of you who tune into YouTube. Now, what's even more interesting is we typically put our content on YouTube last. So if you found us by YouTube, you always get the first crack at new episodes of PWR Primetime Television at pwrshow.com and on our Facebook and Twitter and applications. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, it's time for Versus. A Star of Ode versus a Star of News. We haven't done it in a couple of weeks.
No.
This week's Versus comes to us on Twitter. Remember, during the show, you can always suggest your ideas for a Star of Ode versus a Star of New. Hashmark Versus when you send that over. And Aaron BSC is the username, who selected Demolition, Axe and Smash,
the GLCW Tag Team Champions,
and the PWR Hall of Famers. Demolition versus Beer Money Incorporated.
And we're talking Demolition from...
Not Crush.
No, we're talking like late 80s.
Absolutely.
Early 90s.
Both teams at their prime. How would a match go, and would you be interested in seeing that matchup? That's tonight's Versus. Gentlemen, take it away.
Well, Beer Money would put up a good fight. But Demolition, I think, just has too much. Even when they were at their prime, they were like veterans of the ring. Beer Money, I think, would give him a good fight, but I think Demolition would come out on top.
I agree. I think Demolition is. If that match was like watching Demolition against the Brainbusters, Tully and Arn.
Yeah.
And Demolition easily, not easily, but definitely they would leave the unified TNA and WWF GLCW Tag Team Champions.
WWE who?
F. I'll be with Demolition this weekend.
Down
Down in Chicago. Are you going to come along, guys?
I'll have to have my people check my schedule.
POWentertainment.com, POWW Entertainment.com. Demolition in Chicago.
Thank you very much for that submission of Versus. We appreciate all that. And, it's all about interaction. And we interact with you via Twitter, via Facebook, via the chat room on Blog Talk Radio, and, of course, via the live phone lines here each and every week. We are live each and every Monday night right after WWE Raw here on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Coming up this Friday, it's going to be a new episode of PWR Primetime Television. I think Linda Kay's back in the social media center. Ooh-cha-la. So be sure to tune in to, what did you say? Ooh-cha-la?
Ooh-la-la.
Ooh-cha-la.
Is that what I said?
You did.
That sounds like another pre-tape.
No, I think you're talking thugonometry.
Thanks to Frank.
Don't know much about history. Don't know much about thugonometry.
Really? 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 Really?
On a night where David Harrell became a Miz Marquee.
Oh, shush. Listen, I just
on a
said
night where
I
you
can see
said,
the Miz winning.
No, you said he's going to win. He's going to defeat John Cena at WrestleMania.
I think he's going to beat John Cena at WrestleMania. I do believe that.
How difficult was it to grab onto that bandwagon as it was moving so fast?
Believe me, I ain't on no bandwagon, homie. I see the future.
Karnak.
And that's what I'm feeling right now. I think that John Cena is going to do the right thing and help develop a new star.
With Spike Lee.
Absolutely. Do the right thing?
I'm not familiar.
Of course not. Should have been paying closer attention to that thugonometry class.
Friday, brand new episode of the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime TV. I think you've gotten me ill. I think the celebration last night of The Miz retaining the WWE Championship I've taken ill.
Well, I think it's a celebration of you and that John Cena fan last night.
There was no celebration on my end.
Wow.
I think I actually I tried to school him a little bit on.
Yeah? On what? A bar of soap?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan is the next inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Lots of hoes in Atlanta coming up.
I don't understand what that means.
Ho! Come on.
Tough guy.
Yeah.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Kaz, as you alluded to earlier, has been through a lot. Kaz, he has choked you out, as a matter of fact.
It's on YouTube somewhere.
It's on. It's in the interview section at PWRshow.com. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I think this is a good announcement, but I'm a little troubled because really we only know two people publicly.
We know more, but
who are
our lips are sealed.
Who are announced as going into the Hall of Fame. That, of course, being Shawn Michaels and now Hacksaw Jim Duggan. A good move by WWE.
Absolutely, and well deserved. He's a cancer survivor. It's not that he should be in the Hall of Fame because of that, but he's outstanding talent, and the fans really loved him.
How does he get in over Rick Rude, Jake Robertson, Bundy? Randy Savage, Bruno Sammartino.
Especially
Road Warriors got to get in there yet this year?
Eventually they will get it.
I'm saying Road Warriors will be one of the names mentioned.
And that's my problem with the Hall of Fame. I don't know how the NFL, MLB, all the other Hall of Fames work, Frank, but this one is just mirrored with politics and who likes who and who's going to get along.
You got to remember that some of those wrestlers were, when Vince was in trouble, who stuck with him.
It's all who can make money right now is what it comes down to.
Here comes the money. Well, we want to thank all of you for joining us. We're going to be with you live again next week. We're on the road to WrestleMania. TNA has the pay-per-view on March 13th. Of course, we'll preview that and talk about that as well.
GLCW March 19th.
Ah, yes.
Scotty Too Hottie.
I'm appearing in Vegas. I've got a gig in Vegas, by the way, on St. Patrick's Day this year. I'm performing.
Oh, my God.
do you mean? I'm performing.
Are you doing your best Sammy Davis?
No, Black Sinatra.
Oh, of course.
He did it his way.
Wow.
Thank you so much for tuning in. For
Is
David
that what they call
Octavius,
you in
the
Vegas?
Tiberius Hero, yes, and for the cause, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the program this evening. We will see you Friday for primetime television and next Monday night right here on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.